LDBC, this is your boy Coach Sheldon Harrison. You're live on the Coach Sheldon Harrison Combat Sports Show live. Okay, folks. I wanted to go ahead and get this in. I wanted to talk to y'all. Some of you may have issues with people who you do a lot for them. You do a lot of stuff for them, and they give you their butt to kiss. Like you go out and you feel like you're helping a person and you're doing a lot, and then they give you a butt to kiss. I have an issue with that. I try to find the good in people. I try to. And, I try to help a person out. I'll do it if I think it's going to help them. And that's my issue. I tend to find whatever good they have, I find it. If it's there, I find it. But, some people just don't have that good in them. And I've been burned a few times because I would think somebody be a good person and then they end up trying to betray you. Or they stab you in the back. And I've always learned that the people that you help like that the most, that you really feel like you're putting more into, they hate you more than the people that you do nothing for. If you guys I've noticed that. These type people, they hate you worse than the people who you do the most for. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But I started figuring that out. Even sometimes on YouTube, it's just like, most people, their inclination is to do good. But then you have those people that they have an inclination to just do wicked. That's just how it is. And, I used to have an old, trainer, old coach. And man, when I was a kid, when I did dumb stuff, he would do stuff. One day I came late and he just said, you respect what you honor and you honor what you respect. And I'm like, Coach, what you talking about, man? I ain't got no time for no old man rhetoric. That's how I used to come off. And then his response would be, you respect what you honor and you honor what you respect. And I never got it. I never got it. Or when I talked back to him, he wouldn't even engage me or cuss me out. He would say, you respect what you honor and you honor what you respect. I used to get that so much, man. And I used to, Coach, man, please help me understand. What does that mean? He said, listen, I've already told you what it meant. He said, I've told you what it meant and I don't have to explain what it means. I'm telling you right now. He said, but you don't know within yourself what it means until you go look for what it means. Like, this dude always spoke in parables, and I'm like, what? Is this dude Confucius or what, who the hell? That's what I used to be thinking in my head. But now that I'm grown, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. It's crystal clear. And I'm gonna give y'all an example, a story, man. It was this guy trained his daughter, and she, I got a policy: you can't disrespect your parents. And I kind of knew that they've been arguing, man. But see, she would never say anything to him in my presence. She wouldn't say nothing, But you can tell they've been arguing, and he was talking to her. She wouldn't look at her. So coming to find out, this dude was a stepdaddy. But you can't tell because he taking her this place, taking her that place, giving her money, buying her phone, paying for her clothes. I mean, this dude giving this girl everything she need and giving her everything she want. Okay. Like, it was sick how much stuff this girl got that this man bought. So I'm thinking, man, this her daddy. No, this her stepdad. This her stepdaddy. And so, one day they came to practice, and I was like, man, you can tell they've been arguing. And so she forgot where she was at. And he told her, hey, just let me know when you're ready and shoot me a text. And then she turned around and looked at him. She said, I'll text you when I'm ready. You can't tell me what to do. And, so I knew they had been arguing. And so she turned around, oh, hey, Coach, how you doing? Trying to play it off. I said, now, I just heard what you said to your daddy. She said, Coach, he always getting on my nerves and this and doing that and doing this. I said, that's your daddy. She said, I know he my daddy, but Coach, it's just, and she said, well, he ain't really my daddy anyway. That's my stepdaddy. That's my stepdaddy. He ain't my daddy. She said it like that. I'm like, are you serious? I said, for the last 14 months I've been training you, all I've seen is this man doing for you. I said, are you serious? And then that statement came back. I said, you respect what you honor and you honor what you respect. She said, what? And of course, you telling the kid that she's looking at me, what? I said, you respect what you honor and you honor what you respect. I said, that's simple. She said, Coach, I don't get it. and I'm never going to get it. She said, Coach, I don't even understand what they're saying in church. I said, okay. I said, do me a favor. And I said, what I want you to do, I want you to call your birthday. She said, why? Call him. Tell him you need to talk to him about something. It's important. I said, isn't this important? She said, well, yeah. So tell him you need to talk about this situation to him. So she called him up. He picked the phone up. And she said, Daddy, I really need to, this is her birth daddy now. Dad, I need to talk to you about something important. It's important. He said, listen, I got guests over. I'm going to call you back in 20 or 30 minutes. That's what he said. And she said, for real? He said, yeah, I'm going to call you right back. And of course, he never called her right back. And she said, he said he got guests over, Coach. I said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, now this is what I want you to do. Call your stepdaddy. Tell him you have an issue. And so she called him up. And, he dropped off and left practice to go run errands. She called him and she said, well, and she called him by his name. Instead of calling him daddy, she called him by his name. Hey, so-and-so, I got something important I need to talk about. He said, well, here, let me, I'm going to pull my car over. Let me pull my car over and then you tell me what's wrong. And she said, and so she kind of looked, man, but this kid real smart. Because, see, I didn't tell her, like, look, tell him this, tell him this. She looked and she said, I shouldn't have yelled at you. And so, you know what? He was like, that's okay. He said, I'm going to come back and we'll talk about it when practice is over. And he said, is that it? She said, yeah. But see, he was willing to have a conversation with her. Her natural birth dad wasn't. Who do you respect? Because what you respect is what you honor. And what you honor is what you respect. See, I taught that girl a lesson that day. I taught her a valuable lesson. Now, I ain't teach her, oh, Coach, you teach her how to hate her real dad. No, because they still got a good relationship to this day. But I taught her to understand and how to respect and honor what's appropriate. And then I told this kid, I said, listen, I said, your performances, I said, your last 3 performances, they suck. I said, because you have all this negative energy and you are disrespectful to the man that's trying to do for you. I said, you have no honor when it comes to this man. And I said, because you don't have honor, you can't get victory in life. I said, I don't care who you are. I said, when you dishonor a bunch of people, you don't have nothing in life. I said, go look at the jail cells. For the people that's supposed to be in jail, that the jail cells are full of people who have no honor. They don't have the honor to follow rules. They don't have the honor to respect people. I said, they don't have honor. I said, where's your honor? I said, where's the honor for your stepdad who's doing? And I said, the honor for you don't even call him daddy. You call him by his name. And I said, since you were 6 years old, I said, you are 16 now. This man for 10 years, he been in your life providing for you, and you have no honor for this man. I said, you don't have any honor. And see, I have a protocol when kids train with me. If I see them disrespect their parents, I don't stop. I don't like cut them off because they're kids. And they have to learn. They have to learn honor. You got to teach it to them. See, when kids, they don't know, you have to teach them how to honor. And I give them a protocol sheet. And she said, well, what's this sheet? I said, listen, this sheet is your ticket back into practice in 3 weeks. She said, 3 weeks? Why I got to be gone 3 weeks? Coach, we got this coming up. We got that coming up. I said, listen, look here. I'm in a competition for your soul. And I said, if you go on life like this and you keep on, I said, your behavior going to self-destruct you. And I'm doing this for your own good. But Coach, I thought you cared about me. I said, I do. I said, but, everybody care about you. Everybody care about you, and everybody think that you're okay. Everybody think you this. Everybody care about you. You see, I'm a guy, and I said, I care about you, that I got love for you. But I care about you enough not to leave you this way. And I told her that. I care about you, but I care enough about you enough to not leave you the way that you already are. But Coach, you didn't wrong me. I said, you got to honor this man called your stepdad. I said, you got to honor this man. And I said, this is what you're going to go do. The first thing that you're going to do, okay, you're going to complete every task that's on the sheet. Every single one, you got to complete them. And the first task on the sheet was you have to have a heart-to-heart conversation with your parents. And the question has to be, what's wrong with me? Now, I tell the parents this too, that now the kid is going to come to you and ask you a question, and you can't sugarcoat it. If you want to get your kid back, if you sugarcoat it, you'll never get them back. And I said, you got to tell them the absolute uncompromised truth. Whether they like it or not, you got to tell it to them. Because if you don't tell it to them, I said, you're going to lose them. And I told the stepdad this. When she come to you, she going to ask you and your wife, you tell her the truth. If you think that she's a butthole, you tell her she a butthole. If you think that she a stuck-up brat, you tell her she a stuck-up brat. But I said then, now you let her, she's going to tell you about yourself too. And I said, if you not willing to listen what she thinks about you, I said, this ain't going to work. I said, you will lose her. And see, these parents, they got to be on the same page. Coach, what are you? I mean, do you know anything about child psychology? I said, look, I got 20 plus years of it. And I'm telling you now, if you don't do it the way I'm telling you to do it, I said, you're going to lose them. This dad was like, Coach, whatever you say. And see, I know too that I already know that these tasks could be completed because, see, these kids, they start behaving differently. They start behaving differently. And only that is if you've been doing those tasks on the protocol sheet. Then they got to read the book. They have to read a book about honor. And they can pick a book that they want, And sometimes they'll ask me, do you have any recommendations? And I'll give them a recommendation. Read this book. And, they end up reading that book over and over. At first, it's like a chore. They got to read that book about having honor, about respecting people who deserves honor. They got to read it. And then the next thing they got to do, and this is the hardest part for a lot of these kids, they got to give up one of their most prized possessions that they feel like they can't live with. Because, see, they honor possession. People who act like that you do a lot of stuff for them and then they treat you like crap, they don't honor people, they honor possessions. They honor possessions. And so when you have somebody in front of you that all they do is they honor possessions, they'll never honor people, no matter how much you do for them. No matter how much you give them, no matter how much good you speak into their life, they will never honor you because they don't honor you. They honor their possessions. They got to give up a possession. And most of the time, they'll give up some clothes or a shirt or a pair of shoes that they really love. You got to give them up. If I'm going to train you, you got to. If not, then, don't. And I have kids that don't do it. But see, the ones that don't do it, and I'm going to tell y'all, the ones that don't follow this protocol, these are the ones right now, okay, they out of school, not getting signed, okay, they acting hell at home. And, sometimes it be the parents' fault too. They be reluctant to do these things. Well, this is too hard. Well, now they got their kid, their son, and their daughter cussing them out. They got their daughter smacking them. Got their son, getting in fist fights with his mama, trying to hit back at his daddy. And all they had to do was follow the protocol. See, when these kids, they begin to have dishonor at a young age, trust me, when they get older, they become dishonorable as adults. And when that happens, these are the kids that's beating up their parents. These are the kids that's plotting their parents' deaths. See, these are the kids that's growing up to this stuff. Because they don't have honor. Because they got parents that's not teaching them how to have honor. They're not teaching them honor. They're giving them stuff. They're giving them possessions when these kids don't need possession. They need mentorship. They need you talking to them. They need you putting your best foot forward to help them get to the next level in their life. They don't understand honor. You got to teach a person honor. That's something you got to teach them. And when I see a kid that has no honor, I see parents that are dishonorable as well. They go hand in hand, they're parallel. Trust me. But needless to say, this kid, she followed the protocol. And she got so much out of the activity. So much. And now, every year, this kid, you know what she does? All the old clothes that she can't wear no more. Clothes that she loved. Some of the clothes not even a year old. She take them clothes and she give those to children her same age that need them. See, that's honor. That's having honor. And you know what? This stepdad that she used to call stepdad, they should call him by his first name. She call him daddy. See, that's honor. I'm not saying she need to forget her dad, her birth dad. No, I ain't saying that. But what I'm saying is you got to honor the man that's sitting there and he's the one doing everything for you. You still got to honor him as well as honor your natural dad. That's what I'm saying. And it's funny, man, because even her birth daddy's saying that, the relationship between, and I actually met him, man. And I pulled him aside. I said, yo, man, I said, your daughter going to tune you out. I told him too, your daughter's going to tune you out. And she going to get to the age, man, when she know you don't care about her. Man, I care about her, man, I do. I said, well, dude, you need to start coming around. I said, at least if I see her 5 times in a week, I need to see you once. I said, you got to start coming around. I said, because, brother, and I brought it to his attention. I said, brother, you told your daughter, wait a minute, man. You told your daughter, wait a minute. She told you she had something important to tell you. Man, you know how girls are, man. It just be drama, man. I said, dude, you don't know if she's about to tell you she's about to kill herself. I said, man, you got to do better than that. I said, you got to do better than that. I said, you can't get to the point because, look, man, you lucky it's me she talking to. But see, 5 years from now, 4 years from now, it won't be me. It'll be some jive-ass dude trying to sweet talk your daughter. Oh, yeah, I'll listen to you. Yeah, oh, baby, I'll be glad to listen to you. And that's where the destruction of her life begins to happen. I said, Dad, you got to honor your daughter. You got to honor her, man. Because what? You respect what you honor. And you honor what you respect. You respect what you honor. And you honor what you respect. I told him that. He said, Coach. He said, hey, man. But that's what it is. So don't get upset, y'all. Don't get upset if, somebody, they make you mad and you've done a lot of stuff to help them and all they can do is hurt you and do this and do that. Don't get upset. It's not because they just don't have honor. They weren't taught that. So don't invest all your eggs in a basket. Just stop doing. Stop doing so much and go do for somebody who will respect you in that. That's just the way that it is. Your boy, Coach Shelton Hanson. No doubt. What are you waiting on? Subscribe.